So, welcome back, you guys. Where do I begin? So, growing up, my mom used to always have this saying she would tell me. She'll tell me, your friends will take you, but they won't bring you back. And I didn't always, like when she first told me that, I didn't completely understand where she was coming from. Um, but as I got older, I understood. And after what happened to Shanquella Robinson, I really, 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 really got it deeper than I thought I ever could. I thought I got it before, but I really got it then. So if you are just tuning in, my name is April Thomas. I'm the author of the Endurance series, and I love storytelling. I love talking about different things. This is not something I normally do, but there's been so much going on in the world right now. Like I just need to like brainstorm. Just, let some of this stuff out. But right now the thing that's been really really getting to me is and it's been for a while, but I just haven't spoken about it publicly. This is my first time. So this whole case with Shanquella Robinson is just heartbreaking. I actually watched I guess it was like a press release today with Ben Crump and Shanquella's mom and her sister. And it was what got me, what teared me up, was seeing her mom and her sister crying. Like, that's hard. Like, they've been going through this 5 months, which just coming up to 5 months, and they still don't have an answer. And it's crazy because everything's right there. Like, everything is right there. It makes no sense. Everything is right there. It's not a who did it. It's obvious. But yet, these people are still walking around free, enjoying life. Um, Either way, they're free. They're not locked up. They're not facing any kind of punishment. And it's sad. This beautiful woman lost her life for what? We don't even know why. We don't really even understand why. So there's jealousy. But my goodness, really? Like, it has to be more than that. You can't tell me that's just jealousy. And then the timing bothers me. Around Halloween. And apparently what I learned today that I didn't know before, that October, I think it was October 31st, is Dejanay Jackson's birthday. Something like that. I'll have to double check on that. Don't quote me on that. But so let's just recap here, because if you're like me, you've been following a lot of people and listening to the videos, and a lot of people are talking about this, and I'm very happy for that, because if we weren't talking about this, we would know nothing. We'd have known nothing about this, and this poor family would have just there sitting lost and confused as to what the hell just happened. And it's sad because when it comes to our sisters, nobody cares. And I mean our sisters, I mean black women. Nobody cares. Everybody just goes on about their day doing whatever they want. Like, it's no big deal when we die. And I'm so sick of it. That needs to stop. So I've been doing my own personal, just I'm putting an article together. I'm working on some stuff, and as you work on it and you research and you whip out your highlighter and you start going over these documents and autopsy reports and things like that, it's just, you got to stop and think, like, what the hell is going on? So Shanquella goes on vacation with 6 people. I'm not even going to call them friends. Apparently, one was her best friend. We understand that. Khalil. He was her so called best friend. I think everybody in their life had at one time at least had a so called best friend. Just somebody who you thought was really had your back, and you found out later on that they could care less about your back. So, poor Shanquella, like, she, from everything I understand, from everything that has been shown, she seemed like such a great person. Just sweet, outgoing, ambitious. She's well educated. She's helpful. She was doing her hair braiding business, and she had a clothing line, and she's helping young little black girls fall in love with their curls and their kinks. So very important for our community. Good things that she was doing. And these people, these monsters, these demons, call it as it is, because they did what they did was inhumane. It's as evil as it gets. They go on vacation with her. Now, originally, I thought that she flew in with them. I originally thought that she flew in with them on October 28th. Um, that's not how it went down. What's coming out now is because the concierge is saying that this is so crazy. He said that on October, he was expecting 7 of them to show up October 28th at 3 p.m. At about, he got a text message from Dejanay saying that they had flight delays and they're going to be running late. So she later on told him that their flight is coming in it was like at 5:57. Either they came in or it's coming in, and but they said they wanted to go shopping first, which I don't know about you, but that's kind of weird to me because why would you want to go shopping? I don't know. It's just me. When I travel anywhere, I've traveled to Mexico before. I've went to Cancun. The first thing I wanted to do after coming out of customs was go to my hotel room. I didn't want to do nothing else. I didn't want to be bothered with anybody else. I needed that time to recoup. You just came off the plane, like, before you even get on the plane, it's stressful. You're just leaving the home, making sure you remembered everything, all that drama, your luggage, which is another thing, I'm going to bring that up later. Your luggage, all your stuff. You're just a little chaotic. So now it's like, okay, I can get back to the hotel. I'm going to regroup, change clothes, freshen up if I need to take a nap or not, whatever. Freshen up, and then we're going to head out again. Well, they wanted to go shopping. And I'm thinking, who wants to go shopping and they supposedly have all this luggage? They're going for 4 days. I don't expect them to have, like, tons and tons of suitcases. But, come on. Talking to my sisters here. Do y'all pack that light for a weekend? I mean, it was a little bit more than a weekend getaway in another country. I, even if even if I just had, I'm just imagining if I packed light. And why would I pack light? Like, as a woman, if I'm going to another country, I want to make sure I have everything I think I may need within reason, So I can't see showing up with a backpack and my purse. I really can't. It's going to be a suitcase. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to have a carry-on. It's just me. It may not be a big suitcase, but a suitcase and a carry-on. And why would I, and in my purse, right? Why would I want to be walking around, traveling around with luggage, being an obvious tourist? Just to me, that's like you're making yourself a target. To go shopping, I would want to go drop my stuff off first, dress, and dress in a way where I kind of like I wouldn't maybe I won't take my purse. Maybe I put my money, you know, in my Indian purse, things like that. You know, whatever I may do. I may not exactly want to carry, be obvious. Make it too obvious that or just things. These are just basic things that when you travel and travel internationally, I would think you would be concerned about. But obviously they weren't concerned, and they wanted to go shopping. So the concierge says that they called them and said that because they would have to call him to get the transportation. So he sent the transportation to the airport. He sent the transportation to pick him up from wherever to bring him back to the villa. So they called him and told him that they would be there by 8. It's like, all right, cool. He got to the villa 15 minutes early to prepare the villa for their arrival. Now he's assuming that 7 people are going to show up. When he gets there, he's surprised to see that 2 of the 7 are already there. And the cook is there, he's cooking, and the waiter's there, so they're getting things prepared for dinner. And then 15 minutes later, at 8 o'clock, the rest of the 5 show up. So this is what kind of stumps me right here. And this is probably what I'm going to talk about tonight. And I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. Because I'm just trying to work this through while I work through this case. Just trying to understand. Nazir, he said that he showed up the next day. If this is true, if it's true, then how were there 7 people there that first night? I'm a little, maybe I have it wrong, but that keeps bothering me. And the weird thing is, what the concierge said is, Shanquella was, okay, he didn't see Shanquella. The cook told him that Shanquella was there, but she stayed in her room. And I'm thinking, as a female, when do we stay? Now, just imagine you go on a trip with people. Now, she doesn't know. She only knows Khalil. From what we understand from the family, she knows Khalil, but she doesn't really know. The others are just traveling buddies. And I think they went to school, yes, but I don't think she really knew them, because the family doesn't. This whole Nazir thing, I don't think the family even knows about him. But he's talking about he's known her for 9 years. You could know about somebody for 9 years, but not really know them. Like, I don't know. That just is fishy. So, my thing is, whoever was there, the 2 people there, so it's Shanquella and there was a guy. The guy, he's 5'7", tall, slim, African American man. And when the concierge walked through, the guy was like, "Who are you?" And the concierge was like, kind of like, "Well, who are you?" But I don't think he said that, because he's being very professional. He explained, he introduced himself, explained who he was, that he's a concierge and he's going to be supporting their vacation. And he's there for them, blah blah blah, that stuff. And he said that he then went and spoke with the cook and everything. The cook said Shanquella was there. She's in her room. And I find it funny, because this is what I find funny is, obviously she didn't feel comfortable. Why wasn't she out, like, mingling? I mean, I understand maybe she was tired, from the trip. And then how long was she there? Because they had not cut, so she didn't fly in with them? Like, I'm confused. She didn't fly in, and I'm trying to figure out, well, who is this man? Is it Malik? Is it Khalil? Is it Nazir? Because according to the concierge, Khalil came with the group of 5 that came at 8. He said there were 2 males. So it was 2 males and 3 females that showed up. So there's another male that's already at the house, and then Shanquella. If Nazir showed up the next day, who's this guy? Is it really 6 or 7? I'm really, and then so that's where I'm kind of like, I want to say I'm stuck, but it's just like my brain can't let it go. because, Nazir posted his evidence about, with his ticket, but is it possible that it was manipulated? I mean, if he bought the ticket and then changed it later, bought the ticket, print out his itinerary, then go back and change it. I mean, is it possible? And then where's the receipts if they went shopping? The concierge said that they came back and they had like a few things, like some alcohol. It's from the way he describes it, it wasn't a whole lot of stuff, which is just, you're gone for like 2 hours. I don't know. The math's not matching. It's not matching. And what I don't understand is 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 nobody interested in who the hell this dude was? So let's go back. So this guy's here, Shanquella's in her room, and the concierge says that the cook is, cooking his dinner. I guess they're having tacos, which, you're in Mexico. Why do you want tacos? I'm not saying the tacos aren't good, but authentic Mexican food, like, Mexico got some really good food. You just gonna have tacos? Like, that seems like they didn't even think about it. It's just like a kind of like a thoughtless dinner. Oh, we just have tacos. That's so basic. Like, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. But they had tacos. So apparently, the Khalil, or I guess the cook or the concierge, has spoke to Khalil. Somebody spoke to Khalil because Khalil went and spoke to Dejanay and said, "Hey, if the cook stays any longer, we need to eat dinner now, because if the cook stays any longer, we're gonna have to pay more." And Dejanay is like, "Oh heck no, let's go eat." So then they start calling, and they call for Shanquella to come and eat. And at this time is when Shanquella was on the phone. Shanquella was on the phone with her mom, and she was telling her mom. We all know the conversation, how that went. So from what the from what the mom is saying, I don't think she picked up on anything suspicious or distressing or anything like that. It sounded, like her daughter was just going to go out and she's having a good time and she's safe. She's probably relaxed as a mom, like, okay, she's safe. She made it there safely. Everything's good. She's going to go enjoy some tacos. Call me tomorrow. So the concierge said that Shanquella was the last to come out. And he said when she came out, she wasn't smiling. She was indifferent. She he just noticed, like, she didn't fit in. She wasn't like everybody else. She wasn't jovial and celebrating like everybody else. She was, you know, she might have suspected something was up. And that makes me wonder again who this person is, because obviously I feel like she didn't feel comfortable around this person. I don't know what it is, but I feel like, and then maybe it's somebody she didn't even know that was going to be on the trip. Something happened where she was tipped off, or she realized something's wrong. But it's like she's already there and there's nothing she could do about it. This is just my personal opinion. So she comes to the dinner and everything, and he says that they start drinking, but again, she's like the outcast, She's not really drinking much, from what I understand. She's really, or at all. Actually, the autopsy said there was no alcohol in her system, so she wasn't drinking. And speaking from my personal experience, whenever I've been in a situation where I don't feel comfortable around the people I'm with, and I'm not drinking. I am not drinking. I'm on my guard. My radar is up and active. So I don't drink because I don't want anything to distract me or take me off my focus. So, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the hell out of this situation. That's just me. So maybe the same thing was happening with Shanquella. I don't know. So the concierge goes on to say that I guess the next day, I have to go back and look, but he gets a call just cut it short. He gets a call saying that they need, uh, if he's busy, they need emergency assistance, whatever, medical attention, medical help. And they said that one of their guests or whatever drank too much, and she has alcohol poisoning. And he said, okay. So he calls a person for the hotel that deals with the medical stuff, a doctor that handles with the medical stuff, and he let them know. They said they also need a translator. He said, well, this man speaks English, and it's supposed to be a man that's coming. But instead, what shows up is a woman. I think a woman comes. But I think she also speaks English. Yes. So this is where it's really, really, and this is probably where all the lies are. I mean, this is all the lies. Um, they're saying that the medical doctors are saying that she was fine, it wasn't that serious, but they recommended her going to the ER. And it's like, why would, if she's fine, why would you recommend her going to the ER? Now the concierge had told them, like, if they need a doctor, it's $100, and then it's whatever, however much it costs for the prescription, and which is how it works. That makes sense. It's logical. So you could pay, $100, and then you pay whatever it costs for the prescription. $30, $50, $60, whatever it is you need, and any additional services you'd pay for that. These people are so evil. They didn't call her family until, oh gosh, was it like 3 o'clock? They didn't call her family saying that she had alcohol poisoning. The time that they called her family, Shanquella was already deceased. She was already gone. So, and this is Khalil. This is the thing that gets me. How is it that's your so-called best friend? Like, how is it? Let's take that whole thing out of it. How can you, as a human being, watch somebody be beat like that and call her mother and so callously just talk like, oh, she's dead. Yeah, like, just didn't care. Like, he had no empathy at all. And this is somebody he hung out with. I can't understand it. I couldn't understand it. I had someone, a coworker, I recently found out passed away, and that touched me. And I swear I only knew the girl for maybe like one day. We worked together for like one day. I wouldn't say, well, no. Let's say maybe 2, 3 days before she got fired. And she was going through some stuff. But I found out that she passed away, and that touched me. I don't know the girl. I don't know her last name. I don't know her mama. I don't know nothing. This man traveled with her family, went on vacation with her family, and you mean to tell me you're that evil that you felt nothing? You sat there and you spoke to her mother like if you just told her something. You just nonchalant about it. Just, it's matter of fact. And I was just like, I don't get it. Is this the world we're living in? Like, this is crazy. And it's insane. It's insane what's going on. I don't want to dwell too much on the facts. I'm still getting everything together. But I'm trying to sort out my thoughts and trying to understand, like, as a writer, we do study people. We do people watch. And when you write, you jump into different characters and personalities to be able to get the feel for the character so that it could be genuine to the reader. So when I have to write about a villain, I brace myself. In my books, I write a lot about spiritual warfare. So there's some scenes that I have to write about that it's hard, but you have to do it. Like they say, you got to play devil's advocate sometimes. But this is just so naturally as a writer, I'm jumping into the minds of both sides of Shanquella and of the Cabo Six. And when I jump into the mind of Shanquella, when I'm trying to understand, you know, looking at the reports and just what I'm getting, and then just understanding who she was through her family, through the interviews and what her family says, gosh, she was such a good person. I don't know what she could have possibly done to make them do that to her. I really don't. And I do think it's jealousy. But again, I say, like, seriously? Like, you're going to kill somebody over jealousy? Instead of using them as an example of, okay, you know what? She's doing her thing. She's getting her stuff together. You have the same education the same education that she got. You guys went to the same college. Why can't you do it? You know, if that's what it is, it has to be more than that. It has to be, and it could be a stupid misunderstanding. It could even, I don't know. I don't get it. And then they were very smart. Like from the beginning, I said this. They're stupid smart. They're stupid smart. And what I mean by that is, I think anybody who murders another person is an idiot. I'm sorry. I think you're an idiot. You may think you can get away with it, and some people may get away with it here, but you don't get away with it from God. And you'd rather deal with it here than have to deal with it. You don't want God to deal with you. That's my personal opinion. But so I think people are stupid who do stuff like that. I think they're smart or calculating because of where they did it. They had to have known all of the all the complications it would cause to be brought to justice. They had to have known. They had to have known that this was all going to happen, that it was going to be a hot mess, it was going to be hard for them to be prosecuted, and that their likelihood of getting away with what they did was very high. But one thing that they may not have calculated is how many of us are coming out and speaking out against them. And I think that's the advantage that we have, and I think that's what's going to bring Shanquella justice. I think if we stop talking about this, they're going to win. That's like us giving up. So if I'm talking to all my fellow authors, all my fellow writers, start writing about this. Start talking about this. Start using your gift, use your God-given gift to help bring justice for Shanquella. So this is just my first episode like this. I am going to continue to do the research and continue coming on here talking about this. Shanquella's case is not the only one that I want to talk about. My main focus is, I feel for anybody who's lost somebody through senseless murder. It's sad. But for my sisters who are murdered, they don't get the same news coverage as other women. And so I feel like as content creators, as writers, as authors, of color, we need to start doing that. We need to start talking about these different cases and help these families get justice for their murdered loved ones. It's not right. It's not fair. So I'm going to continue researching and trying to pull together as much information. I don't want to regurgitate every single thing that everybody's been hearing over and over again. So I'm going to be putting in a lot of it's my thoughts, and this helps me also kind of clear my head so I can dig deeper, because I'm doing it as an author with an author mind frame. And so my perspective may or may not be a little bit different. I know there's a lot of talk of that they think the cartel is involved in this, and I completely disagree. But I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that next time. I don't think the cartel has. I don't think the cartel has anything to do with this. Not directly. Indirectly, as in maybe they owned a villa or something, but I don't think they have anything to do. I think that's just a given. That doesn't count in my eyes, you know. But we'll talk about that later. But yes, if you are a content creator and please let's get out there. Let's start talking about this. Let's start sharing. Let's start putting our heads together. Don't let them. They're out there feeling comfortable. Don't let them feel comfortable. I want it where everywhere they turn, people are talking about this. So, justice for Shanquella. You guys have a beautiful day. Bye for now.